The American professional wrestling star Hulk Hogan has died at the age of 71. Hogan, whose real name was Terry Bollea, was the biggest professional wrestler of the 80s and 90s. Tonight, World Wrestling Entertainment has described him as one of pop culture's most recognisable figures. Hulk Hogan's representative issued a statement saying, "Unfortunately, we must confirm that Terry Bollea, aka Hulk Hogan, passed away this morning. We're heartbroken. He was such a great human being and friend." Well, Hulk Hogan, who has died at the age of 71, has had tributes from all over the world, including from President Trump, who's paid tribute to him. Posting on social media, on Truth Social, he said this: "We lost a great friend today. The Hulkster, Hulk Hogan, was MAGA all the way. Strong, tough, smart, but with the biggest heart. He gave an absolutely electric speech at the Republican National Convention that was one of the highlights of the entire week. He entertained fans from all over the world and the cultural impact he had was massive. To his wife, Sky, and family, we give our warmest, best wishes and love. Hulk Hogan will be greatly missed." Well, let's speak to Mike Johnson. He's a reporter for PWInsider.com covering the world of professional wrestling. He joins me now from New York, and it's hard to understate how important and how iconic Hulk was in the world of professional wrestling.
No, you're correct, Miriam. Thank you for having me. There was a time period where he was the end-all, be-all for professional wrestling. He was the window into professional wrestling for a lot of kids and even adults in the 1980s. And in that time period, he was the perfect person to be in charge of the front-facing of WWE and their marketing and their promotion. And he was an incredible performer, especially in that early mid-80s 1980s period. And was the ultimate hero against the likes of the Iron Sheik and Roddy Piper. And he was the person who made that company untold riches and helped them go from a small territory based out of New York City and become a global phenomenon. So WWE now is an international business, and a lot of it was built on the back of what Hulk Hogan accomplished as a performer in the mid and late 1980s and early 1990s.
I mean, he had some, iconic moments, didn't he? Some rivalries in those 80s and 90s, but not without controversy as well.
Oh, no, absolutely not. I mean, especially later on, there was a controversy over the Gawker tape. A sex tape that he didn't know was being recorded was released and featured some pretty vile comments that he had made, but he didn't know that he was being recorded. He later sued the Gawker website for its release. That website got destroyed. He got a big settlement, legal settlement out of it, but I don't think his reputation was ever as sterling afterwards as it was before, because he lived in the eyes of a lot of fans as this red, white, and blue character who espoused American patriotism and good over evil and say your prayers, eat your vitamins. And the reality is the performers are never as perfect as the characters they portray. And there's tons and tons of actors over the years in Hollywood and elsewhere that the characters that people fell in love with them for portraying are very different from the people who were performing those characters.
And of course, he got involved in politics, didn't he, later in life?
Yeah, later in life, he really tried to rehabilitate his image in the United States by leaning into the right-wing politics and appeared at a lot of the Donald Trump rallies. I know you just read Donald Trump's quote about him. And he really kind of wrapped himself in the red, white, and blue flag and that sort of MAGA patriotism. And from there, launched a new beer line. He was about to launch a new amateur wrestling company, Real American Freestyle. I was about to open a new bar in New York City across the street from Madison Square Garden titled Slam. So he really was kind of leading into that for his next chapter in life.
Mike Johnson, it's been good to talk to you. Thank you very much for talking to us about Hulk Hogan, who's died at the age of 71. Pressure continues to grow on the Trump administration to release files linked to the